to Wild and relax.
Hey, welcome to Schoolstone, everyone. I am LotusKnight, and I'm joined today by NHL J fan and basedinc to bring you some super exciting THL matches. So, to begin, how are you doing today, NHL? Oh, 1 second, just fix the audio really fast. Can you speak again? Well, I can. I'm just making sure they can. Correct. Okay. Yeah.
All good?
All good. So, how are you doing, NHL?
I'm pretty good. It's been pretty easy going this weekend. How about you guys?
I'm doing good. I mean, can't complain. Sorry for being a bit late. Baze, how are you doing today?
Doing pretty good. Just enjoying a nice lazy Sunday.
Yeah, I think it was lazy, but it's going to be very exciting from now on. We have two great matches today. We're going to start with JRJuggerlaw versus BillSnyder for Legacy. Very interesting match that I'm personally super excited to see, and that's going to be followed by Based herself playing against Memnarch for Wild series. So, bit of a twist there. We're going to have Standard and Wild today in our show, like we've been doing a few weeks. I'm going to solely be here for the first act, and Bill and JR are going to be replacing me and Baze, while Baze will be playing the second match. So, a lot of fun there. Let's start talking about this legacy match a bit. So, what do you guys feel like is happening here? We see that JR has the Demon Hunter, Rogue Warrior lineup versus Bill's Demon Hunter, Druid, Rogue Warrior lineup. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I actually helped JR build this lineup a bit. We were looking at Rogue for a while and thought, hey, this kind of deck can have a really good match against Demon Hunter, which is pretty common in most lineups, and it can hold its own against things like Hunter and, the occasional Druid. And even though Druid is kind of popular and it's difficult, that favorability into Demon Hunter really helps make it pretty viable in a tournament lineup. So JR and I put a build together, and we're gonna see how it does. In in Hero, Rogue worked out really well for me. So JR is a bit more confident now, and we're gonna see how it does today.
So, Baze, I want to ask you about these classes here. As we see, there's an interesting thing going on where the only changing class is Hunter versus Druid. What do you think about these classes in particular, how they lined up against the general lineup?
So the Hunter, I feel like, really does well against all of the, the third and fourth decks other than the Druid. I feel like it does pretty well into the Rogue. If you bring a Warlock, it does pretty well into the Quest Warlock. Not so much Zoo. It kind of beats up on the Priest and the Mage. So it kind of punishes you for reaching outside of the best ones, but it itself I don't feel like is that strong. And then Druid is kind of the same, where it has a lot of weaknesses to the third and fourth decks and the Demon Hunter. But it just, some people are calling it Scam Druid because of how it, can just ramp you out of the game and just win the game right there. So it's one of those ones at high rolls. But I think it's going to be an interesting one. I feel like it's pretty evenly matched here. I don't really think anyone gets an advantage. Maybe the Druid does, but the Hunter, is better against the Rogue, so it feels like it's kind of a wash there. So it's going to be a real tight match.
Yeah, we do know their bans. We know they're both banning the Warrior, so changes things a little bit. But I think the Warrior has been a very expected ban in THL recently.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. I'm sure
not
Base
Pro,
can...
or sorry, not Wild, but the rest.
The next closest bans for the week is Hunter with 7 bans, where Warrior has 26 in Legacy Red. So seems pretty common to ban the Warrior.
Yeah.
Right now, Warrior is just way too flexible as a class.
Yes.
It can really have game against anything. And the fact that with a closed deck list, you can bring 3 different archetypes makes it a very
Right.
formidable class and hard to counter.
Right. I think we're ready to start. Let me tell them that they can begin whenever.
All right.
Also, Bill starts with a B, so makes my life easier with friendless fun. Thinking of the people OPing, or in general for your matches, it's way better to be in the beginning or the end of the alphabet.
Well, you see, the trick is just not have any friends.
Uh-huh.
And then they're right next to each other.
I cut my list down to about 150, and the bug has mostly gone away.
Huh. Yeah,
Still happens a little bit.
I challenged
but all
Blue
those-
Spartan instead of binoculars yesterday.
Yeah, but Base, think about all those 80 gold quests you're missing out on.
I I may have used to add every single person I played in Tavern Brawl, because a lot of people who don't play the game a lot, if they have an 80 gold quest and they don't know people, they just go to the highest ranked person on their friends list. And so I used to get 80 gold challenges all of the time. And it actually has kind of gone down a little bit. So I'm a little bummed about that, but I'll carry on. Oh.
Oh, I messaged Bill. I didn't message. I will be specking just for stream's sake. It's going to be Bill first.
Okay. Oh. Looks like they are in game. And let's make sure they know to invite. All right. So we've got Bill on the Rogue versus JR on the Hunter.
Okay. It's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, Bill is on the play.
So what is the Hunter? That's my
Hunter is
let's-
Highlander.
Yes, it's got
Okay.
Dragon Queen right there. Definitely.
It
Interesting.
looks like Bill is running a secret build.
Yeah, it chose to keep Van Cleef on the play. I mean, it has a single backstab, so definitely has merit, but a little interesting to
Yeah.
me.
It sounds like Bill is going for the game plan of I'm going to Edwin you out of the game.
Yeah, I just, with just the backstab, like that's the only real way to activate it.
Right. That's the kind of bad part. Like a super awkward turn. Bill didn't really want a hero power here.
No.
And it looks like next turn he doesn't have any great options either.
Yeah.
JR choosing to go with the dragon early on. Good choice. Just curve out.
Like it.
Yeah.
A good answer to ambush as well. He can just use his free attack.
Yeah, JR is looking to be in a good spot. If he can get a
Yeah.
4-drop here, it'll be even better. That way he can just curve out.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be making 8/8.
Ooh, big Edwin time.
Yeah. That shadow step pickup turn becomes a lot clearer.
Yeah.
Looks like he's going for it.
He is. The classic Edwin.
Only Zephyrs can answer this.
Zeph is a great answer.
I guess Deadly Shot as well.
Deadly Shot as well.
Yeah.
No Deadly Shot. There's an Animal Companion pickup. And just playing the Zixor here. Don't think I like this hit. I don't want to hit with any of my cards into it. I would just put it there and say, are you going to clear it or not?
Yeah, you get to kind of soak up an attack, because then if they don't, then you have the kill command to activate it.
Yeah, the next turn you can just go with Kill Command, or you could even sacrifice your Zixor Prime and just go with the
Go
Faceless.
with the Faceless, yeah. But is going to have the Zixor in hand. But
Yeah. That Edwin is
Not
going to live and just strike again, especially with the
yeah,
Kronks on board. Looks like a Rogue Wash. Just a classic Edwin closing the game here.
I think you're fine to just go ahead and swing because it means that if Kronks dies, you still have a lethal presented on board.
Yeah.
But we'll get
looks like JR is going for the Unleash and Kill
Yeah.
Command play to get rid of that Edwin.
yeah.
Things are
Yeah.
not looking good for him right now.
No, they're not.
He does have Seal Mod in hand to answer the Bronx next turn, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
but this Spy Mistress presents lethal.
That's the thing. Plus, he can make his Kronks a little bit more resilient. So
Yeah.
I think that spells the end for JR in this first game.
he's going to need Zephyrus here. Doesn't have it.
Not have Zeph.
Don't think there's any way to answer this.
Well, he could kill. He can't even kill the 6/8.
No.
No, it would involve his
Oh,
face
he
and then
can.
he's dead.
He can. He can use Faceless Corruptor, but then he won't have an answer for anything else on the board.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, this is looking like game 1 win for BillSnyder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So keeping the Edwin even off or on the play won the game.
Yeah.
You had the
Yeah,
backstab,
Edwin
and I
is-
guess that's enough.
Edwin is broken.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
Edwin
thought.
is still very broken.
I've been saying this for I don't even know how many Hearthstone matches, and I asked for a Hall of Fame for Edwin many, many times in school. So
It's amazing that they didn't Hall of Fame it this year.
yeah, it was
it-
just. Oh.
Like it has to indicate like a rework for the rogue class. The rogue classic basic is coming, right? Like it's either that or they just don't care, right?
They don't know.
Like if you leave Edwin untouched, like the rogue will always play Edwin, and like that just doesn't seem
Oh.
in line with the rest of their
Well, I don't know
thinking.
if I would say that. There have been times when Rogue didn't play Edwin. We saw
Like,
that during
Quest.
Kelliseth Rogue and Quest as well.
Kelliseth
Yeah.
played Edwin.
Kelliseth. I mean, some didn't. I think.
Kelliseth Rogue usually didn't play it. You were just kind of curving out.
Yeah, you didn't really
I mean,
have a lot of
Yeah.
your shadow steps were for the Kelliseth only, not to make big Edwins. It's just to make the
Then we have
rest
a
of your
Demon
deck
Hunter
big.
mirror.
Here's an interesting tech card for us to talk about. Blowtorch Saboteur.
Blowtorch
Busted.
Saboteur hasn't been seen much in Standard, but it's been huge and wild in Odd Demon Hunter.
Yeah, for the Demon Hunter, you know. So I think that it's really going to start catching on. You know, GM saw it. Agent PWE actually crafted it to play against me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's exactly for the matchup that we're seeing. The Demon Hunter
Yeah.
Mirror.
Mm-hmm. Like
Okay,
it,
I will.
you know.
Is everything? Oh, okay. Fine. I thought Bill was hard keeping.
Yeah.
Or full keeping, but that's not what you wanted with that hand.
I have to take care of something real quick. I'll be right back.
Sure.
Yeah, no problem.
So,
So
go ahead. Go ahead.
did JR keep the Skull of Gul'dan?
I think he did.
I
I do
don't-
not like that.
Yeah, I think like in the mirror, you want things like I Beam, you want the Umberwing, you want
Yeah.
the like you want to win the board early and snowball
Right.
that. Like the game is not a value matchup. It's a win the board, snowball some damage, burn out your opponent.
Right.
Like that's the steps of the Demon Hunter mirror.
Yeah, I think the Demon Hunter Mirror, and I've been playing it quite a bit this week because I wanted to just get more experience with the deck since it's going to be around for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And the mirror feels a lot about just tempo. It's a tempo mirror. You want to tempo them out. You want to keep playing good cards, and you want to just win because they cannot deal with your stuff.
Yeah. You're not winning because like you drew more Skull Gul'dans. It's like
No.
that's sometimes the way it comes down, but like most time it's just you snowballed the early game and like we're able to win off the back of that.
Yeah. I think Twin Slice is a very important card in the mirror because
Oh
you can
yes.
deal with 2 minions of theirs.
Yeah.
Usually.
I really like Bill just deciding to go ahead and swing. Like he's got
Yeah.
eight weapon charges to get through. You know, like the Warglaives will go back quickly, but you just go ahead and start burning these Umber Wings.
Yeah.
Oh,
I like it.
I'm not sure.
Did you want to freeze there?
I kind of want to freeze, you know, like because you know Bill's still got the coin.
Yeah.
He can answer this board right back and develop a satyr. So I think that going for the freeze and kind of just like, you know, it makes the best thing that they can do freeze. And then, you know, you have like I-beam to answer that as JR. But, you know, this is fine too. You have this to follow it up, but I think he's going to be a little bit further behind on board than he would have, or, you know, spending the I-beam and the freeze.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I like this, choosing to clear up the whole board using the I-beam.
Oh, yeah. I think you need to do it. It's just you keep more health, and I-beam, it does have some good targets, but that's a pretty high priority.
Yeah. So probably just going to see an I-beam and a frozen Shadow Weaver this turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you freeze the face.
Yeah, I think you do too. In the Demon Hunter mirror, almost always the correct answer is to freeze the face because they answer with the face a lot of times. So
yeah,
usually what you're looking to do is just make sure they can't answer with it.
Yeah. So you know, like if they trade with their minion, you're fine with that. But like when they trade with their face, like it's just free tempo that they've earned.
Yes.
Earned is the wrong word that they've taken.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to buff the Battle Fiend here. I think that just the Shadow Weaver's, you know, going to be more resilient and it's going to have higher attack for much longer, but it makes a wider board here.
I personally like a 4-5 wave, and I like a 2-4. It's just more annoying, especially with Warglaive.
Yeah.
You're expecting to face that card really soon.
Yes. We're going to see the Warglaives come up, probably clear up the entire board and keep a 1-1.
Yeah.
Likely save. No, I think you actually want to burn that last charge, right? Because your next turn is likely looking like another Warglaive's turn. So you're fine to just go ahead and spend that last charge.
I think so. I think next turn you're going Warglaive's I-beam, so...
Yeah. Like, especially with, like, I mean, like, Bill's already gone through all of the weapons in his deck.
Yes.
So, you know, like, Bill has used his face a lot, but, you know, JR's really going to have to start catching up on tempo or adopting the burn plan. Because, like, that's the two ways. So this skull is going to actually be really huge depending on what it hits. Like, you really want to see the, what's the word? Metamorphosis and whatnot.
Really good here.
Yes.
It means he can't attack with his weapon right now, and he can't really go skull.
No.
Hi guys, didn't mean to interrupt. I'm back.
No worries. Yeah. Welcome back.
Yeah. This is looking really back and forth, just from what I've seen.
Well, we're going to see, I think, a huge board build by JR and just say, here, now I have a bunch of 2/2s and a board.
Yeah.
Can you kill this?
I think that's definitely the way.
Yeah, that Saboteur is going to be really awkward, though. Now with the 3-cost hero power, JR is going to have to attack into it twice.
Yeah, which I think he's fine with. It's a lot of damage, but it's also an extra 2/2.
Yeah.
It's much less pressure on the board.
Interesting choice to let the 1/1 live, I think. I think that's what he.
Yeah, I don't.
I think JR just values the last charge a bit more.
I mean, you
Because
could
he
have
can
just
either
held it and not gone
answer
face with it, right?
Yeah.
true, but like you guys said, he has to sort of commit to the burn-based game plan,
Yeah.
kind of. And any chip damage is something at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think that you had to commit to the burn-based like game plan until you had like the satyr in board.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like now
Mhm.
you can just convincingly win the board, and I think that this is just going to be game over for Bill here because this likely grabs just a little bit more burn. Yeah,
That's enough. 3.
that is lethal.
That's enough.
Yeah, that's lethal. So we do see JR winning the Demon Hunter.
Yep.
I think it was just mostly awkward choices by both sides that led to harder match than I think it would be. I think Bill could have won this with a few different choices.
Yeah, I like and JR being on the play. You know, the keeping the Skull Gul'dan worked out, but
Yeah.
I think that some not perfect decisions were made, but I think it worked out. And JR won because he was able to capitalize on the board. Like that was what it really came down to. With the Snyder pick or the Snyder pickup, he picked up Bill and threw him. The Satyr.
Mhm. Yeah. So right now, what do you guys think we're going to see come in? We have the Hunter and the Rogue for JR versus Bill's Demon Hunter and the.
I think Druid versus Hunter. Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I think the Druid just makes way too much sense right now. It's good matchups into Hunter and pretty good versus Rogue, as long as they're not running double questing.
Yeah. Or as long as they don't get the double questing.
Right.
Things are looking good for Bill with the Glowfly Swarm in the mulligan, along with
Yeah.
Overflow.
Yeah,
And
if
he
he picks
just
up
wants-
any ramp.
He gets Breath of Dreams itself.
Does Bill run Breath of Dreams?
Well, he doesn't need it with Overgrowth, but yes.
Well, I mean, do we know that he runs the Breath of Dreams? Have we seen it? Because this could be the standard spell, or it could be the hybrid that runs the Emerald Explorers to play the Breath of Dreams.
Correct.
Interesting, choosing to face tank that and set it up for another hero power clear instead of wanting to get the Overgrowth.
Always Hopper, by the way.
Huffer's not that good into the Crystal Power, because now you can clear it pretty easily into the Overgrowth.
Yeah, I mean, he's got damage to follow it up. He's got the Fairy Dragon that'll likely get to push another 5 face. The kill command, the Stormhammer pickup.
Yeah.
Well, now we see the Breath of Dreams.
Yeah. So
Bill
there's likely
has a few choices here. He could ramp a bit, he could ramp and cycle, or he could just point out the Glowfly Swarm, which looks like what he's going to go for.
yeah.
I kind of like this choice because I think this is more annoying and more scary.
Yeah.
I agree.
We know that it shouldn't be a trade moment. It should just be a go face moment for JR, but he is choosing to trade.
Yeah, I think choosing to trade is the right play.
It's the right play, but we know it's not in reality. If you need your opponent's hand, you shouldn't. No, you should just go face. You're going to win next turn. So interesting that we can see something sometimes.
So
I still think that was the right play by JR.
Oh,
I
yeah.
agree. Yeah. It's just from our side.
Right.
Yeah, it looks like
Right.
he's gonna Bill's gonna commit to going overflow next turn.
Not necessarily. He'll have to use the
Yeah,
bog beam first.
yeah, he could pick up a another cheap spell to play with Mount Seller.
I really don't like hitting it with a weapon, though. I think here you can just push face. You need that face damage.
Yeah, especially to set up lethal the following turn.
Yeah.
Except the other fungal.
Had JR not had Bran in hand, then I see the value in trading, but it's
Sure.
hard to justify it here.
So
This
hold
is
on.
lethal, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
this is
exactly lethal with the unleash and the kill command.
Looks like it. Let's see if JR can find it.
He's probably counting it.
Yeah.
Is he considering going Desert Spirit Unleashed to clean up?
Doesn't have to. Wait.
No, he doesn't have to. Yeah, like it's always lethal right here. So yeah, he
He
spotted
sees
it.
the lethal.
Yep.
It's going to be 2-1 JR.
Mm-hmm.
Question is, can the rogue beat the druid and the demon hunter?
It can. It is favor. I don't know if
I'd say
I
it's close
know.
to 50.
JR's build of Rogue is favored against Demon Hunter. It'll be interesting to see how it does against the Rogue. I know JR doesn't run too many Druid techs. I don't think he has the 5-mana 3/3,
Mhm.
Sure.
but he does still have Flick, which should
Does
help.
he have questing?
He does have questing, yes.
Okay. We first see the demon hunter the druid versus the rogue. Well, I don't think Bill keeps anything here, and I think JR should keep the cat and the miscreant. Pretty easy mulligan.
Oof.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a hand.
Yeah.
This is not looking good for JR from the start.
No. I mean, he does have ways to kind of set up a like a pretty wide board and try and contest it just with minions to turn its blade, so you're not immediately dead.
Yeah.
You know, you probably go coin miscreant. Yep.
Yeah. Shotbot is also really good in this deck because
Yeah.
it can be super resilient.
Yeah, Shotbot trades excellently into the Glowflies. Very useful. Oh, we see another minion pull
Another burn. But
from
That
Fungal
is big.
Fortune.
have coin Glowfly into Glowfly with Savage Roar to actually back it up. And I think you definitely want to just play the Shotbot right here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The taunt lackey is really major though, because you can make that miscreant so annoying for those gold.
Yeah. Does that ever change it? I mean, you don't have the Mount Seller, so I don't think so, right?
Yeah, I feel like this is a Glowfly turn, especially since you have the follow-up with the second Glowfly Swarm.
Oh,
Bill disagrees. Okay.
Bill
Bill
disagrees. He
goes
just
for
wants the ram.
double ram.
I mean, I'm kind of on board for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he got some very good draws off of that, so can't
Yeah,
complain there. But this is going to allow JR to
just
build a
keep
bit more
developing.
board. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
going to be very hard to stick something against this kind of rogue board right now.
Okay.
We're going to see a glowfly, probably a bit of clearing here.
Yeah, I think you start with the Wrath though. Wrath to cycle on the 1/1. He could be looking to just hero power, keep the spell in hand for sure. But I mean, I think I'd rather find the Mount Seller if possible.
Yeah.
Or is he choosing to
3 damage. Going for
Okay.
maximum clears. Holds the second bog beam, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, holds the Bog Beam, holds the Iron Bark. You know, that way if you do pick up Mount Seller, you have like a lot of stuff you can do.
Correct.
I think something just a little bit different to mention here is the fact that they are playing really fast. And very common mistake to just play too fast and start making plays that you really shouldn't be making.
Yeah, I mean, JR can clear up a lot of this board, but
Yeah.
Bill only needs 4 minions to stick.
Yes.
Very likely see another Taunt Lucky come down.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's going to be very annoying for Bill.
Bill has to go through a 5/6 taunt, and he only has a 2/2 right. I think we're going to see a dragon here.
Looks like it.
Maybe a Bog Beam Hero Power to clean up the 5/6 as well.
Yeah.
Bill's still thinking about what he wants to do. Goes for the bog beam. Looks like he
I mean,
really wants to clear that taunt.
Yeah, is he okay? I mean, like you were never going to play a Fairy Dragon, which is the only thing that you wouldn't consider snap pick
Dragon
of
Queen
the
and
Dragon
Alex.
Queen.
He doesn't have many duplicates left. Looking at
Yeah,
his
but
list.
was it ever Malagos? Because if you go Malagos Ironbark, like that's just a 5/15 that now JR has to chew through.
Well, Rogue does have ways of just removing single minions.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
1 second, I'm just solving a quick audio problem. Out of audio. A little bit. Oh, wait. No, never mind. This is just on. Okay, we're all back.
all right. Bill pulled the overflow. That's 1 less duplicate in his deck now. Alex still not active though.
There are still 12 cards in deck, so it's quite common for Alex not to be active.
I mean, like we said, only 4 need to live. So right now, 4 live, with a taunt. So he would have to chew through the taunt, but he could push a lot of face damage.
Yeah.
Things aren't looking too good for JR right now. It's running low on resources.
Yeah. Bill still has quite a lot he can use his hand to do.
I kind of like using a single Savage Roar here.
Yeah. I don't mind the Savage Roar, especially since you didn't take the other dragon.
Yeah, it lets you keep most of the board and push a bunch of damage.
Yeah.
You drop to 11, but double Eviscerate is really the most amount of burst you're looking at them doing, and you're likely going to keep this 4/6, which sets up or 4/8.
This does set up for potential lethal.
Yeah, it looks like that is lethal.
Yeah, I don't see a great out. You would need a dragon.
JR needs a taunt.
So you can get the dragon.
Dragon.
Yeah, that's the one. Dragon adopted it.
Evasive Worm doesn't get him there.
Yeah, that doesn't quite get it.
Looks like it's gonna be 2-2.
Going to see the final match: the Demon Hunter versus
The road.
or the Rogue. Sorry.
Yeah. The Rogue is slightly favored in that matchup.
Yeah, especially if he's
Oh.
playing the stealth version. My Mistress really good against.
Yeah, JR is playing the stealth version. He just didn't really draw any of his stealth cards there.
Yeah. I think something interesting as well is Demon Hunter. I've been finding it a deck that rewards you a lot for playing it, just because there are very many choices, even for a tempo deck. So you need to kind of know what you're doing there.
Yeah, it's very reminiscent of old aggro shaman,
Yeah.
where you really want to dominate the early game and play a little bit defensively to get the board sometimes. And at times you're almost a control deck against really fast decks,
Mm-hmm.
just so then you can overwhelm and burst them down in the late game.
Right. Last match is started.
JR starting off really well with Spy Mistress and Backstab in hand. Both
Mhm.
are excellent against Demon Hunter.
Right.
Yeah.
Being sidekick is very good versus Rogue deck. You can go 1-2, 1 on turn 1.
Yeah.
Did JR keep Flick?
Yes, it looks like it. He did a full keep, which I'm not. I
Not
mean,
sure how I
like,
feel about keeping Flick.
it removes the glaive bound on curve, which I like. You know, like it's kind of a rough thing to remove.
It is.
Well, Eviscerate does a really good job.
Yes. But it also removes the second one, I think might be the consideration.
Sure.
Bill really wants this to stick.
Um,
I don't think he will, though.
it's choosing to go. You know, it has slowed the development, which is fine. You know, like I think that if the evil miscreant came down and got to remove, like that's really rough.
Right.
Rogue is doing exactly what it wants right now, though. It's slowing Demon Hunter's early turns down. It's preventing Demon Hunter from establishing much board. We're going to see JR kind of swing the board a bit this next turn with Miscreant and clean up. And it's going to be very difficult for Bill to really gain much leverage on that.
Mm-hmm.
Bill will have the coin glaive bound next turn.
So Flick doesn't answer that technically.
No, Flick will be too slow. He has ways to with the Goblin Lackey as well as the backstab.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Yeah, there are lots of answers here.
Yeah.
Looks like Bill is going to go glaive bound that Miscreant.
Yeah.
Soaking up 4 damage. JR has to be happy seeing that too.
Yeah. I think that's like.
An Edwin.
Ooh,
That is
okay.
a very gross Edwin.
Yes.
Yeah. And I mean, Bill won with an Edwin, so he can't technically complain here.
No.
There's that 8-8.
JR is just in a very good spot now.
Yeah. Didn't lose much in the early game in a match where your opponent is trying to win the early game. So puts him in a really strong spot.
That Shadow Weaver is going to slow down the Edwin for a turn, but I don't know if it's going to be enough here.
Well, the Edwin is going to have taunt, if I'm not mistaken. So
Yeah.
It will.
I don't want to face that.
I don't know if you taunt it, because like, what else do you do at the turn then? I'd
Well,
rather.
you could just Kronks.
Yeah, I like just developing a Kronks. Possibly, I mean, there's nothing really to flick here, but like if you just go Kronks, now you have an 8/8 and a 6/6.
Right.
Demon Hunter is just really going to struggle against that.
Yeah. Demon Hunter it's a really strong class, really good on tempo, but they don't have great answers to big minions. It's their biggest struggle. Really.
I like this better.
Yeah.
I do like this as well.
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
Cleans up the board a bit. Protects your
prevent.
face.
Mm-hmm.
Goes a little wide. And now you have big haunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And ooh, there may be an OTK coming in next turn.
Yeah, I like the commitment to just going Skull because, you know, if you freeze, it just doesn't get there. So let's see. It's going to be not dead, but a couple of his rates would have come down potentially and killed you.
Yeah. This is going to be all about that Altruist turn. Can Altruist close the game?
Yeah. I don't think so, especially, you know, like I think it's very likely that we'll see a shadow step on the or not. If you shadow step the Shadow Weaver, like you get to freeze the face again.
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
want to see a shadow step as well. But
You know,
JR just hoping to tempo out.
I mean, he does have
Shuma looks menacing, but we know it's not going to really matter because of Altruis.
No.
Going to come down to, well, here we go.
I didn't do the math to check if it was an OTK, but I don't think he can get all the way.
It is not an OTK, I believe.
but I think you can clear up everything.
Sounds like it, just from the number of stuff you can play.
Wait,
You can just barely clear everything.
wasn't it better to just I-beam the Edwin?
I think so.
It was. This won't clear now.
I mean, he's gonna have to use his face. Be at 3 health. Dead to a kobold.
Chooses not to hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks like we're going to see a flicking the 4-2.
Which 4-2?
Yeah.
Altruis?
The Altruis. Yeah.
Altruis,
if you let Altruis live, you are opening yourself to losing.
Yeah.
Right.
JR holding that shadow step.
Mm-hmm.
Please.
Interesting choice what to freeze here. I think you freeze face.
I think you freeze the flick because it lets you just focus on dealing damage and not worrying about a counter lethal.
Sure.
This is looking like a Galakron turn.
Yeah, Galakron for 1.
Not sure what you're looking off.
Backstab. Evis.
Yeah, a miscreant that grabs you a couple, like a kobold and a taunt will be
That is
fine.
very good.
Yeah.
Shield of Galakron. Excellent pull.
Evolve the flick.
Do you like evolving the flick here? And then you can shadow step it as well if you choose to.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could
Try
even
to get a
evolve
better
again
one.
if you get a bad out.
It's
Kinda
not
like it.
terrible. But
Could
I
get
do like
challenged.
still.
Yeah, I like looking for another taunt. Okay, that's
Even
game.
better.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, I think you just throw up the 2/2. Yeah, because you'd
Yeah.
rather that live. And that
Yeah, this is going to go to JR with that kind of pull.
Yep, that's game.
Yeah, not much you can
Bill
do.
doesn't
against
have an
the
easy way to deal with the Shield of Galakron now. Yeah, now we see the concede. No way for Bill to come back from that.
Very tough moment with that evolve into the walking fountain. Such a crazy pool. Let me get both of them in here. So interview and then swap into wild mode.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and step out. Congrats to JR. Well played to Bill, and I'm going to get ready for my match.
I'll see you later, Baze. Good luck in your match. We'll be streaming really soon.
Yeah, see you very soon. Congrats, JR. Bye.
Well, that was
Hey.
quicker than expected.
Yeah.
Yeah, well done.
I don't know what to say after that, honestly.
Yeah, that was kind of gross.
I'm kind of at a loss. Like, I was so sure I was gonna win that after I taunted up the Van Cleef. And then Bill actually had a follow-up, which I was amazed by.
Right.
And then I was like, okay, I'm pretty dead. I have to play the Galakron to stay alive. But I didn't see there being any answer to that. And somehow there was. Oh my gosh.
Lackeys are pretty good.
Yeah. I would say they are.
I mean, this is exactly why people say the lackeys should never become a thing. I can't say I disagree with them. It's pretty gross.
It is. I think Evolve Lackey is especially gross in matches. It can be so insane.
Oh my god. And the funny thing was, I didn't even think. I was thinking to myself oh, I need an 8-drop taunt. Like, that's probably the only thing that could save me. And then I remember, oh, I see the elemental. And I'm just like, oh, that's a thing now.
Right? Yeah.
Holy crap! that was insane.
Yeah.
Utterly insane.
Yeah. Well done,
Oh
Bill.
my
You made
God.
that really competitive. That was super close.
Oh god, yeah, GG's, Bill. That was quite a set.
Very entertaining from our end.
Yeah, GG's.
This
Yeah.
was just such a back and forth match. So many interesting. Edwin is still OP.
Yeah.
Won 2 matches on its own here.
I was ready to win off that Van Cleef, come in here and be like, do you all still think Van Cleef shouldn't be Hall of Famed?
Yeah,
'Cause,
Edwin is gross.
Yeah. But so is Altruist, in fairness.
Yeah. I still think
Yeah,
it's a little bit worse.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Altruist
fair.
a bit more build around than Edwin.
Right.
When you can get Edwin as a 4/4 with just playing 1 card on 3, and that's considered good, and the rest is just gross, there's a problem.
And I also won't deny that the main reason Altruist is such a problem is partially due to the fact that it can cost 1. So then, in the case of that, you're able to just play it and then play a lot more cards around it so much more easily because of the reduced costs.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're gonna be fair, that deck needs a comeback mechanic.
Yeah.
Because you can talk about I personally think the card that's overpowered right now is Warglaves. I think Warglaves
Mm.
is an actual problem because you have this situation where it leverages boards so hard that there's matchups you actively keep it in, and it's a 5-drop. So we're talking Tog levels of power here for a deck that in its early game really wants to be board oriented with Battle Fiend and Umberwing, so board oriented that you started running Beaming Sidekick to just try to hold some of that stuff on board. So the only issue with Altruist, and it's always been this way, is the fact that it does damage to face. If it just did damage to your board, I think it would be pretty balanced. But the fact that I had a reasonable chance of winning that game after everything that conspired was all due to the fact that Altruist went face. Because if you really look at the board state towards the end of
True.
that game, I still hadn't done any damage if it wasn't for Altruist doing, I think, 5 damage, 6 damage.
I think it was about 7 damage it did, but
It was
yeah,
7 damage to face, which is insane.
right.
Yeah.
That really put me on a clock at that point.
Well, then, so I did screw that up then. I should have I-beamed Edwin.
You should have I-beamed the Edwin. Yes.
Yep. Okay. Fair enough. Like, I felt like I made a mistake there, but I thought I was 1 damage off from killing the 1/7 generator guy. And so I used my resources on him because I knew I could get through the Edwin in 2 turns. And I probably, after I messed that up, I probably should have just punched it realistically. And then I would have been at 3. So I was dead to eviscerate. I don't know. I think I played that series really, really poorly. But that's been a continuing trend with
Well-
my legacy play this season. So
Not in Wild though.
yeah, well, we can talk about Wild, but I think most of the time I just high roll in Wild. So, but JR, that's not to take away how you played. You played fantastic.
No
So,
offense taken, man. Always a pleasure to play you, regardless.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, we're here in Schoolstone. We're here to talk about your plays, whether you're right, whether they're wrong, and just try to all learn something. I think our philosophy here is always to just try to learn something cool, some interesting tech, some way to play a deck, and I hope for all of you watching this has been a thing so far.
I will say I was extraordinarily. You want to talk about interesting techs? I thought my blowtorch timing was
Oh yeah.
spectacular.
out.
I felt really good about when the blowtorches came down, and I felt like I don't know because I'm not JR, but I felt like his turns were significantly more awkward because his 0 power cost 3.
There was definitely a turn or two at least where it was very awkward. It obviously didn't end up mattering in that game, like as far as the outcome, but it definitely was like it definitely hindered my plays a bit. So I definitely see where people are coming from with that tech choice.
Mm-hmm. Well, I will thank you both for playing this match on stream because it was fantastic. And I want to welcome Bill, well, JR also, but JR is always here. I want to welcome Bill to Schoolstone. How are you doing, Bill?
I'm doing well. I'm doing as well as somebody who's 1-6 in legacy could be doing. So I'm doing well.
Good. And JR, how are you today?
I'm feeling a wide variety of emotions after that match. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So, but I'm definitely excited. I'm always interested in learning a bit more about Wild, even as somebody who doesn't really play it and is really just an onlooker more than an actual participant.
Yeah.
But it has been fun watching some of the matches both from Schoolstone and from other THL streams. So I am intrigued at seeing how this plays out and seeing 2 strong Wild players, including our lovely Based, really putting on a show for today.
Yeah, I think so. I am going to be leaving you guys for now. JR, Bill, and NHL and JFan will be leading the Wild portion of today's Schoolstone episode. So I'm here OPing, and if you guys need me, I'll be here. But otherwise, I'll see you all later.
Thank
Great.
you, Lotus.
Thank you, Lotus.
We do have the bans in. Base chose to ban Quest Mage, which is no surprise. And Memnarch went with the Odd Warrior ban.
Yeah.
So- So, quick question on that: is Quest Mage often like a deck that's is generally banned in general? Because I have seen some matches where it's been left up.
It's
Yes.
So what you traditionally want to do is if you have a super aggressive lineup, you can leave Quest Mage up because um, you either kill them before they complete their quest, or you lose anyways because they can still do Flamewaker spell shenanigans. But if you have a super aggressive lineup, Quest Mage does tend to struggle into that. There are intricacies within the Quest Mage deck that can hedge those matchups, those aggro matchups, into their favors, but I don't see a lot of wild players do it when they're playing Quest Mage. For example, something I like to kind of touch on, Flamewaker is one of your strongest anti-aggro tools that you often see in Quest Mage. And being able to hold your quest and then go Sword Apprentice into Flamewaker, into Elemental Invocation, into a bunch of spells, a bunch of cheap spells, and then reload with Mana Cyclone is something that I don't see enough. So people just play their quest on one, but you can play it for free with a Sork Apprentice.
Yeah. Something to note that you can play for free with Sork, but it also depends on your draw in hand. A lot of people are going to see the quest support in there with Licensed Adventure and Questing Explorer. Usually, whether you play your quest in turn 1 depends on whether you have those, as well as things like Mana Cyclone and Sorcerer's Apprentice. Just wanted to touch on that because it's a deck that isn't really very straightforward for people who are unfamiliar with it.
Interesting.
And I definitely feel like, particularly within THL, it has been overbanned. And that's, some people just don't like playing against the deck. You see in Legacy and Pro, sometimes people just ban Priest because they don't want to ban Priest, or they don't want to play Priest. Apologies. And I think Quest Mage falls kind of in that same category of decks that people don't want to play against, so they just ban it out, get rid of it, and play a series without it, and that's fair.
Yeah, let's take a look at the other decks. So Based has Jade Druid, Luna's Pocket Galaxy Reno Mage, and Q-Block to play. And Memnarch is looking at Odd Paladin, Pirate Warrior, and Reno Priest. Now, this Reno Priest is actually a heal burn list with Priest of the Feast and Prophet Velen. Something to note, it's not the traditional dragon build.
Yeah. So Memnarch is very well known for heal burn. Yeah, he's excellent at the deck. My series with him earlier this season featured that deck, and it was fascinating to watch the master in action use this heal burn, because I did my best to keep my health total up, and he did close to 45 damage over 2 turns to me. So
Wow.
It was a breathtaking experience for me to see this in action. But Memnarch understands the ins and outs of that deck, and it's why he brings it. And it'll be really, really interesting to watch him play against another high caliber player base and see if she can figure out a way to play around it, or if she can just kill him before his combo pieces come together.
Yeah, I do want to bring up, this isn't Memnarch's original list that he brought. He actually chose my friend Ben from Works lists. It's highlighted by the Priest of the Feast tech, which is really, really good against aggro. So things like Demon Hunter and Pirate Warrior right now. And most of your burn comes from Prophet Velen's shenanigans instead of actually turning your healing spells into damage.
So correct me if I'm wrong. So with the dragon builds, it seems like they're more about like, pinging down your opponent with lots of hero powers, but also having the powerful dragons to kind of give you a board presence and deal additional damage through that. Whereas it seems like here there definitely is more of an emphasis on overall burn and combos to further that burn.
Correct. And the anti-aggro approaches are a bit different. With the traditional dragon build, you're relying more on, your board, your dragons to fend off aggro. With this, though, you're depending on your spells like your board clears, as well as just healing up to cancel out that chip damage. So I believe this kind of list will be much better against traditional aggro in terms of things like Odd Demon Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
And it's worth stating, I'm sure there is a case, but I've never seen Raza Priest hit a lethal that didn't involve Spawn of Shadows. That particular dragon build, Spawn of Shadows deals 4 damage for each time you use your hero power. So basically, you're doing way more damage than what you're taking, and generally you still push anywhere from 16 to 24 damage with just the Spawn of Shadows. So it's more than capable of doing an OTK on its own, but it doesn't have the ability to kill you quite as quickly. You have to assemble combo pieces, and it takes a little bit longer. Memnarch's burn list can come together quite a bit quicker.
Yeah. All right. Should we let the others know to start the game?
I think now's a good time.
All right. Looks like they're getting ready now.
Not gonna lie, I'm kind of sad that you said base warrior deck was banned, right?
Yes. Odd Warrior was banned.
I would be very interested in seeing how that deck plays out because looking at it, I can see there's a bit of the burn strategy, the fatigue strategy, cold light, but I'm very much wondering, what else do you really do with that? Because, I guess I'm trying to get a sense of what this deck is about from the construction of it.
For the most part, Odd Warrior hasn't really changed. No matter the build, Odd Warrior just is very polarizing in that it crushes aggro, but it rolls over to control. We see based with her list, she runs stuff like Ironhide and Sword and Board to gain a little bit extra armor, as well as Dr. Boom Mad Genius to occasionally roll the extra armor. So this is more oriented towards something that would be more difficult for a traditional Reno Priest to kill, while still doing incredibly well against aggro. So,
well, we see base is starting out with the Reno Mage, and then Memnarch is starting out with the Pirate Warrior, and seeing a lot of cards I recognize, some cards that we haven't seen since one or two rotations ago. Seeing Ice Block here again is bringing back memories.
Yeah, Ice Block is a staple in most mage decks right now. Quest Mage is the only one that doesn't normally run it.
Right. And I can understand why.
And
So,
Memnarch's got
Memnarch's
a
starting
fantastic start here.
Yeah, both
with the
Corsair
double
caches.
and a 1-3-on-1. So
that Hunter hero power too. This is gonna be rough for Based if she can't get some kind of early momentum going, and her hand isn't doing a lot for that.
Yeah, something to note. Memnarch runs Livewire Lances. Most Pirate Warriors before would only run Ankar, or that we saw Memnarch pull right now. But the Livewire Lance build is to give a little bit more consistency and some more value and anti-aggro, sort of. Recently, I believe it was Jonah Raw hit #1 legend with this kind of list.
and he's gonna go ahead and start sending this Ankar face I wasn't sure whether board development was better at this stage or going ahead and developing that weapon. Because he does run the cheap
Man,
pirates.
yeah. Unfortunately, none of these spells really help based right now. So I'm like
Yeah.
wondering, is there anything she could realistically do looking at all the pure damage that's in Memnarch's hand?
Looking at that, I think I want a base to take that fireball. It deals with the sky barge really well.
Hmm.
There's not really any elementals in hand either, so it makes it kind of awkward for base to use.
I think her goal was to get this Twilight Guardian down on 4. So she's not using the whatever removal she takes immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
And so that will give her the ability to kind of go ahead and continue with her own game plan, and then hopefully later on, if you know she does eventually draw into an elemental, like Zeph, for example, she has that Scorch there as an activator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'm willing to bet she
Audrey-
would have taken the fireball if she didn't have the Twilight Guardian in hand.
Yes, that's a reasonable assumption. She also still has coins, so but I think what she's gonna try to do is play Twilight Guardian, coin, because I think I saw a Dragon Caster. Yeah,
Yes.
coin Dragon Caster into power creation, and
Yeah.
and then at that point, Memnarch's not really gonna be able to win on board. Like he's never getting board back after that. So he's gonna have to find burst from hand and use that hunter hero power to be able to get there.
So
And then,
looking at Memnarch's hand, though, what is the ideal play here, do you think?
It's tough to say. He has quite a few options. He can go for the Sky Barge burn plan, which he's definitely considering. He needs to play Bloodsail Cultist if he wants to use his Ankar as well.
Yeah, I think that's
yeah,
the better play because even with all the pirates in hand, you're definitely going to want to maximize the damage with Ankar. And you need
Yeah.
to use a durability to deal with that dragon. So, yeah, Cultist seems like the way to go there.
yeah, I like using this decking because what that lets us do is follow up a pretty wide board with Saucy Captain. He does know that base still has coin, so coin Blizzard may be a concern for him here. But
Yeah.
I still think this
Base
is
does
pushing a lot. I should probably pull up
Yeah,
the.
there's no Blizzard in the list. I didn't expect there to be Blizzard. Believe this is just
Coin Dragoncaster, right?
yeah. Well, base is running Goku's old Reno Pocket Galaxy Mist.
This is just max tempo right here.
Oh, wow.
All of these are good picks.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, like, do you take Sylvanas just because? No, okay. Decides to go for the more the better health option. I guess
you're not usually
the
stealing
death rattle isn't super relevant anyway.
4,
exactly.
8.
Yep, that's it.
10.
This is looking like lethal.
Yep.
Yeah, Pyro Warrior is formidable exactly because of this. It's just
That's just crazy.
yeah, Ankar is insane and wild. Like that
Like,
used to be 2-3. Imagine if it was still a 2-3 today.
I don't want to now.
Yeah, it is not uncommon to get an 8-8 Ankar in wild. Like an 8 ability.
The thing that's really insane though is like looking at that, you can't find an aggro deck in standard right now that has that kind of power and aggression. Like, you know, that was turn 6. Look at like everything that happened there. Like that, the insane amount of aggression there is just not something you're gonna find in any standard deck that's aggressive right now. It's
And that makes
absurd.
sense, though, right? Like you in wild, you're dealing with a lot more cards than what you are in standard.
Yeah, look at
That's true.
look at Memnarch's hand at the end of that when he had lethal. it was still full. You just never see that with aggro decks in Standard. Next up, we have the Odd Paladin versus Jade Druid matchup. People normally think this is favored for the Jade Druid, like solidly favored, but it's not as favored as most would think. Odd Paladin just has that longevity.
All right, NHL, what do you think about keeping this muster for battle here?
I mean, keeping Muster for battle is with that Righteous Cause draw. I do like it a bit. It was hard to like. It's difficult because he didn't have a 1-drop.
Yeah.
Had he had a 1-drop, I'd like him more. Or if he was on point.
I was also kind of thinking like most of the reason in my mind that muster is good is you get this weapon to help you leverage board. And Jade Druid in the first, 4 or 5 turns of the game, they're not gonna, this 1/1 is gonna be about the maximum that they put on board. So wouldn't you rather hunt for a 1-drop? See, I mean, if we were gonna keep this muster, didn't we want to play it on 3? I don't know. That's what I'm asking. But
Yeah,
it
it's
seems
tough
a
to.
little obscure to me.
I mean, I think I would have. It's really hard because we see the Warhorse trainer there, and that's excellent with muster. Really,
Yes.
you have to wonder, was last turn actually just muster into
Warhorse.
the Warhorse and South Sea Deckhand? You miss the extra buffs, but you also get an extra 1 attack.
And you get push the deckhand face immediately.
Correct.
As opposed to,
Yeah. So.
But I would say Memnarch has a formidable board here, nevertheless. I mean, if you're on this side of base, you genuinely have to consider the. I'm not sure what you have to consider because Poison Seeds doesn't really do anything here.
Not much, unfortunately. It takes off a little damage, but
Off 3 damage.
Yeah, that does not feel good if you're a base man right now.
She doesn't really have much as far as good alternative plays though. So
a reminder that Based tossed away her Starfall.
I did not notice that. My goodness.
Yeah, she tossed away Starfall, which I don't really like against Odd Paladin because Starfall is one of your MVP cards.
I would imagine.
I think like the issue with Starfall in this matchup, right, is you find yourself in a situation where you're often just playing it on turn 5. And the issue with that is that if you Starfall on 5 and clear the board, you just find yourself right back where you were the next turn. So what you're looking for is ramp in an effort to basically ramp fast enough to where you can play Starfall and hopefully develop some minions behind it. So you're just not passing back an empty board to a class that can push a button and have 2 bodies on board.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I think that's her thinking there, but that is something that I think has been the long time plague of Hearthstone, not understanding that using AoE and passing back is just going to put you right back in the situation you're in, right?
Well, my thing is, Based is running a Steladris build, which means she doesn't have the Oaken package with Zuldrak, Ritualist, Oaken Summons, and Archmage Vargoth. So it's very difficult in the first place to really build a board. Being on coin as well means she can coin out the Starfall turn 4 and deny the Quartermaster turn 5 play. So regardless, it doesn't look very good from here for her.
Yeah,
Does J Druid often struggle with aggro this much, or
Yes.
okay?
Yes, Druid is very sad in Wild right now.
And one issue it has with Odd Paladin in particular is that Odd Paladin just has an almost infinite amount of value with the hero power, and it can just play one card a turn. And J Druid really struggles to have enough removal to be able to run the to run the Odd Paladin out of resources.
Correct.
So she's gonna just gain some armor and try to stay alive here. I found that when you're in this situation as a J Druid, you don't win very often because, yeah, you gain a lot of life, but when you can't respond on board, it makes a little difference. So Memnarch's gonna go ahead and send all his damaged face and put Based in a really awkward situation.
Yeah, for all that armor gain that Based had, it's pretty much gone.
So he's debating on whether he wants to play, because he really doesn't want to fill his board up. Spreading plague is something that he needs to be aware of. But he's debating on whether he wants to play either the Steward or I would guess the Warhorse. I think I would just pass here if I were in Memnarch's shoes, as
there's no need
counterintuitive as that may be.
Thinking about Muster, he knows that there's no Spreading Plague in hand, so Based will have to draw it here. Calculated risk.
Yep. So he's gonna go ahead and drop a couple more guys, develop this weapon.
Oh, that's pretty solid.
Yeah, this is exactly why Gloop is running J Druid right now. This kind of answer is
my
just
God.
disgust.
Holy crap.
All right, so Memnarch has 14 on board with the weapon 15. Based is on
Not going to be
15.
enough.
Yeah,
Based
so
should not do that because that is still going to be.
If she draws second Spellstone, she's in it still.
Oh wait, no, I miscounted. So that's going to be 13 on board, and
Yep.
Based is 11 on board now with the weapon. Based at 15. I think that's lethal. Oh no, that's the Divine Shield.
No, now it is. Oh, is it?
Yeah, it is the Divine Shield Maul, so it is not lethal.
Oh,
so that was plus
I was
one
gonna say,
attack.
that was plus one attack. That would be lethal. Yes.
Yeah, that's yes. So
Still going to be a problem though.
yeah, and the good news is she does now have these two Spreading Plagues. One of the things that is going to be problematic for her though is she used both her branching paths for armor earlier, and so like buffing the actual scarabs to kind of be able to challenge these tutus isn't really a possibility for her. I think what she'll try to do is go ahead and use the Spreading Plague and try to knock these shields off, and then try to Starfall and develop the following turn. And I'll be really interested to see what she did with this Jade Hodel, because I think making a 2/2 there is probably acceptable. I don't know
She
if
did
she
not
would
play.
have enough value at that point to get there, but
Oh, that's
Never surrender. That's going to stop Starfall from doing anything now.
that's unfortunate.
That's the only secret Memnarch plays too. So Base does know that's never surrender.
Right.
Yeah.
So she has to trade into a few minions and then play Starfall if you're even going to play it or just play another spell.
Starfall won't clear.
I think now is a pretty good time to get this this hero card down, Malfurion and Pestilence, because
Yeah.
you get to start kind of fighting back on board. I don't want to see Starfall here.
Yeah. Based has to remember,
Like,
like, she has a way of knowing that's never surrender.
Oh no.
Based.
Based, you gotta clear. What are you doing? No.
Yeah, and she can, if she hadn't played a spell first, she could have chipped down this board a little bit.
Wait, I see what's going on.
I think
Okay.
Base's goal is to
God,
stall
yeah.
just a little bit longer. Because now
she-
this board can't be cleared.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. This
No,
is
but
really smart.
she knows the flip side of that. The board can't be cleared, but that also means that no other minions can be played.
Correct.
That's actually not a bad play because now the Starfall can still do a lot of clearing. And she and now Memnarch can't play anything to like boost up any of his minions, and it's just kind of forced to just attack and leave it at that.
Well,
Yeah.
the issue is the moment this is cleared, Memnarch is going to go with Muster, Hero Power, and Quartermaster.
That's
And
true.
that means Base is going to be faced with 5 3/3s on the board.
The,
And I'm
the
not sure
other-
how Base deals with that.
Pray you draw an answer.
Well, the issue is Base doesn't run Yogg or Ysera. The only
Mm,
2 minions she runs are Keeper Steladris and Kael'thas.
This might be enough to get there. Because Memnarch can't. She has 13 on board right now. And she has a UI in hand. He's going to remove 1 and put her to 12.
Oh, I see. That's
It's
right.
just enough. Right?
He's right. That is just enough because that's
Yeah.
5. Yeah, that's going to be it. Actually, you
Yeah.
don't even need the ultimate infestation. I think the Malfurion, the Pestilent Hero Power would also do it.
Yes. That is also true.
Yeah, Memnarch's just dead.
That was a good spot by Base.
Base getting away with this by the skin of her teeth.
But I mean, I think she kind of knew. She kind of planned this out ahead. Like she knew that if she cleared the board, then even if he had a follow up, he wasn't going to have an answer to this board, and then she'd have enough damage for lethal.
Yeah.
As crazy as it is, it worked out super well for her.
Yep.
Like this looked very dire for her for most of the game, but Base is going to tie up the series.
Yeah. Now we're just looking at a testament to Base's character choosing Malfurion the Pestilent for lethal over Ultimate Infestation. Choosing to go for the neutral evil over the chaotic evil and getting fatigue damage herself.
Well, as weird of a bring as J Druid might have seen, based on what you guys were saying before, it gets the first win for her.
Yeah.
And going forward, she has to feel good about playing this odd paladin. Yeah, she has the mage. And this matchup should be interesting.
This matchup is favored.
For the mage or for the priest?
It's favored for the mage.
Okay.
For the single card that Base has in her hand. That secret right there,
Ice block?
that makes it favored for mage.
I get what you're saying.
Memnarch's build in particular is to avoid ice block shenanigans because he doesn't have to lean into his spawn turn as hard. But against normal, like the common dragon builds of Reno Priest, ice block kind of prevents the lethal, which means Reno Priest goes low on health when they go into their spawn turn, and then they're easily killed by the mage.
Sure. Can you give me some insight on why she chose to toss Mad Scientist there?
Mad Scientist is very easily stolen, and it's just not enough pressure here. I'm assuming base is going for all the pressure she can get, which would be some kind of like this is a matchup where you keep Luna's Pocket Galaxy. You're okay with keeping Ice Block because it just keeps you from dying. Base is probably going to go for either gaining armor or just drawing in tempo. It's not really looking to remove the board with this spell.
And actually goes for draw 2 cards and give your minions +2 health, +4 health.
Yeah.
So I think Memnarch takes a 1 here. Oh, no, he took a 5. I thought with the 2 combo pieces in hand, he'd be looking for cheap stuff to start pinging.
Yeah, he's got Raza on 5, Anduin on 8. It's going to be hard. You
Yes,
see Luna's Pocket Galaxy there?
and you see that
Really good here.
This is about as ideal as it gets for the priest right now. My goodness.
Well, the mage is in a position to recognize that the priest isn't doing a lot, and so this is our opportunity to be aggressive and push damage.
True.
And he is getting, or she is getting the chip damage in on Memnarch right now. And I think if you're Memnarch, you can just oof. I do
It's really
not
hard.
envy his position right now.
And he doesn't
think
have the
I
board to deal with this.
I think I would just Emperor Hero Power my face.
I get the sense that that's why base picked that specific potion. Like buff up your minions that you're not gonna have that Memnarch won't have an easy time of removing.
Exactly. You're going for max draw and tempo, and buffing your minions here is very good for that.
Oh,
Memnarch going
wow.
for the potion, but we see it really didn't do much.
Mm-mm.
It softens the board for Azure Drake Spirit Lash, right?
Yeah.
Like he's setting up for that, I think.
Probably. And that is going to do a lot here, as we're going to see.
I do want to see base drop this ice block sooner or later. She's going to
And
need
he-
it to
And he
survive.
gets a card off this. Yeah. This worked out really well.
Yep.
for Memnarch, and he gets to push 5.
You're definitely sad if you're based, but it is what it is.
He's gonna trade. That's surprising.
Yeah. Oh, that is not a pull. You don't want to be seeing power creation right here.
I like double 4s here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, double 4s, maximum tempo. Just get the body on board.
It also
Usually
sets up.
with the extra mana, you can do something with Escaped Mana Saber too.
Well, that's the thing. Like for next turn, if base draws a 1-drop minion, she can actually go for like Dragon Queen Alexstrasza plus that minion.
Correct.
So it is pretty relevant. And there's a good example.
Yeah.
Not exactly what you want to draw off of the as far as a minion from your deck goes, but not bad either.
Base has to be thinking about whether it's time to either drop that ice block or go all in on Dragon Queen Alex right now.
I think you go Dragon Queen Alex, and with the understanding.
Well, looking at the hand, doesn't seem like there's much to fear except for the. Oh no, wait, but there is the spawn. Oh,
Yeah.
Spawn of Shadows. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, this is looking like lethal from Memnarch.
I'm pretty. Let me see. No, that's definitely lethal because only 3 hero powers would be needed, or 2, I think. There's definitely enough mana there.
So 1 spawn, Shadow
Yeah.
Word Death, and either Loot Hoarder, Shadow Visions. Yeah, there's plenty.
Right. There's several 2-drops in hand, so that's gonna do it.
Yeah.
I don't think you can play around that and expect to win. I think
No.
when you do, if she did a variant of Ice Block there, she plays through passively. He just procs her on one turn and kills her on the next turn, right?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
you gotta set up the board and try to win the game.
Yeah.
Play to win, not to lose. And that's what
Ra's on
Beast.
5 and Dubin on 8. There's not much you can really do there.
Yeah.
That's just how Priest wins.
This is how it was back in Standard, too.
Yep.
So that leaves Memnarch with the Odd Paladin. And Basis Drew going to try to beat it with the Q block.
Yeah, and there's a card called Defile that Q block runs that makes this. Yep. So
Now,
yeah, you got to be really happy if you're based. Something else you have to play around, and we see it in Memnarch's hand, is Divine Favor, and he's bumping it for us, letting us know, hey, look at this Divine Favor.
Oh man, and it's
no.
golden too.
Memnarch doesn't have silence for any big taunts. Oh, Skull the Minari. Excellent pull for basedinc.
Yeah, she doesn't have any impactful demons right now, but it doesn't take long. And just like that, she drew one.
Does now.
That's really significant.
I'd really like to see a tap here.
Wild. I understand the defile because of Never Surrender, as we see Memnarch just drew it too.
Yep,
Yeah.
and that was a good spot by base.
Like I was gonna say, she easily could have been punished for that, sadly.
Yes.
I like seeing Voidcaller here. Coin Voidcaller. This sets up for a nice Plague of Flames as well as Sense Demons next turn, and then you can go straight into Skull of Minari and just drop a bunch of taunts.
Exactly.
Have
like
a very hard time getting through that.
I actually really like, value trade, Plague of Flames,
it's perfectly set up. It's perfect. Like you guarantee the Void Caller, you get more demons into your hand right after, and like Memnarch. I mean, Memnarch can deal with this over time, but like realistically, he has like he doesn't play Terran. Does he play Terran?
Well, Terran costs 6.
Oh no,
so.
that's even. That's even, right? See, this is how you know I'm not familiar with Wild. But yeah, he doesn't, like, correct me if I'm wrong, he does not have any kind of easy answer to this.
It's going to be a long uphill battle from here for Memnarch.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if we see the second Void Lord come out from the skull if he
God.
just doesn't give it up.
Look at this. My goodness.
Yeah, and Based has that Blood Reaver Gul'dan as well. Turn 10. That'll be the end of it when she gets there. It's definitely going to get there. I don't see Memnarch.
No question.
And
I mean, look at her hand. Look at the demon she's going to ultimately play. Imagine if she cubes either the Void Lord or the Enhanced Dread Lord. Like that's like correct. Like is Memnarch playing any kind of silence or no?
No.
Then yeah,
There's no silence. There's no Void Ripper. Memnarch has no way of getting through these big taunts or getting around them. Really, he's just got to punch through.
Even the cube here, if Base low rolls and pulls the Void Color, she can still cube the Void Color.
Right.
It guarantees one of these taunts, and then she gets another on the follow up skull proc. So I think cubing this Void Color and getting another one of these big taunts out and starting to punch Memnarch in the face.
Yep, we're seeing exactly that. I like it a lot.
Yep.
I mean, I almost would have preferred to see the cube be used on something else, but I guess at this point, it's like, it's. I don't think it's really going to matter when you've got the other Void Lord in hand along with Blood Reaver Gul'dan.
Yeah, and Memnarch doesn't know that this other Void Lord's in hand. And so he's going to be really disappointed when he fights through this next taunt, this Dreadlord, and then another Voidlord comes out. And then Base kind of has all the time in the world to find more threats and just basically try to survive to turn 10. So if you're Memnarch here, he's doing some damage calculations, trying to figure out how he can most efficiently push through this taunt and start chipping away at face again. It's really awkward because with this 5/5 with lifesteal coming out of this Dreadlord, it almost has to be answered, but it can't conveniently be answered, right?
No.
Yeah, this is just so bad.
Yeah, it's yeah. And
Yeah.
then there's
Memnarch
another
ends up
Voidlord.
flipping that turn.
And
There's
there's
just
the Mal'Ganis. That's if it wasn't GG, but yeah, if it wasn't GG before the Mal'Ganis, they couldn't polish it off. So
the Master of Memnarch saw the rest of her hand.
going 2-2 now.
Last game. The Reno Mage versus the Odd Paladin.
and I would think Based would be favored in this matchup.
I believe so. I want to see Base keep that Flame Ward. Yep.
Yep, sure.
Absolutely.
Even with that Calic Ghost in the opening hand, things are still looking good with that.
Yeah, and Memnarch does get to drop the stack in on one. And
Of course,
we see Zephyrus. Zephyrus is
Ooh.
going to answer a lot.
yeah, and Base can just pass here. This isn't enough pressure to
Not at all.
justify an answer. I think I just ping the 2-1 and pass. You know, muster for battle's a possibility, but it's nothing you're too concerned
Yeah,
about.
we see Memnarch has Purifier's Maul, which is going to give Base a hard time.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? So he goes muster here into Purifier's Maul, and then Base can go Zeph, Coin, Blood Knight, and have one big boy. And he actually like dropped the Purifier's Maul there, which is surprising to me. I figured he would try to be a little greedier with it, but I think he's trying to go Purifier's Maul. Oh, when he hits the Righteous Protector, so now he can go Righteous Protector into Rallying Blade.
Yep.
Get +4/+4 off that Rallying Blade. Yeah,
Ooh.
good spot by Memnarch. He's just debating on whether he wants to use. Yeah, you might as well because you're going to bump one of these shields in, right? So he can
Exactly.
bump Rallying Blade, bump, push 4.
Now, if you're Base, what are you doing here?
I still kind of like my Zeph Coin Blood Knight line.
That's what I was
So-
kind of thinking.
Yeah, I think that's what we're going to see too.
She needs to use the coin before, probably.
I was going to say, does she need to coin first?
Yeah, she
Yep.
missed a coin.
Oh.
Should have coined. She's not going to get Blood Knight.
But she can get Ooze, and you're still moderately happy with that, I think.
I would say so.
She's debating with
deals with the minion. Ooze just puts something on board and gets rid of the weapon, which is pretty nice. Holy Light you don't really need. Yeah, this is okay, I think.
Alright, so if you're Memnarch here, muster for battle and never surrender seems pretty good. Use one of these. I guess you can just hero power. I want to dump my hand so I can divine favor. Yeah, he's gonna use the hero power. I I think I would have. I think I would have abandoned one charge of the Rallying Blade to set up for this Divine Favor. But I
Based
guess
on Reno here. I believe either
Which
that
Reno?
the
Reno Jack.
I was gonna say there's
Relicologist.
3 Renos in her hand.
Relicologist. The
Relicologist.
But that's not gonna. Is that even gonna kill anything with the Never Surrender?
No.
It
Oof.
should. No. She's like, do I?
I think that's the best
He
play.
has to Reno here. It was either that or go Flame Ward into and Ice Block.
Yeah.
But even that is very questionable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
this
still a
worked
very
out.
feels Batman kind of moment.
This worked out better for Memnarch. Drawing that one drop now, you can get that out. Get this Divine Favor out. Seems good.
Base just needs to make it to turn 10.
That's going to be easier said than done, I think.
Yeah, she needs something like support here.
Actually, to be fair, she doesn't have to make it to turn 10, right? Because she can drop this Emperor Thorzen and reduce the cost of the Amazing Reno to kind of give her an out. And if Memnarch trades here, he's giving her a little bit more time to do that. Like I think this is an Emperor. Like
Yeah,
every day of the week here.
Yeah, this looks like Emperor right here. She's choosing to go for Reno. Reno the Relicologist. See how much it clears.
Not
There's the
enough.
2 1-1s.
Yeah, and you can hear Power play the Quartermaster and push 16, 10, 11?
14.
Oh yeah, it's
Oh, yeah, you're right. 11. My bad. It's
so
2, 3.
yeah. And then your quest doesn't proc. So you
Correct.
can weave that in with a hero power next turn. The quest proc. But either way, you're asking for an answer if you do this. And the other good thing that does somewhat come out of this is that with the and he's choosing to faceless. Okay.
He's playing around Zola.
Yeah, this is. And with that volcanic potion picked up, now you're in a situation you finally have time to develop this ice block. But she also Memnarch has a second Never Surrender up as well, which creates a little bit of an issue. And so we are going to see the Emperor come down. Yeah, this is really good because we basically guaranteed that Reno can come down this game, right? Because we can develop the ice block next turn that guarantees we don't die, and then we can drop Reno on 9.
Exactly.
Whether that's enough or not, I don't know, because this Leroy poses a little bit of an issue. But the way Memnarch's been trading, it's giving based out. And I wonder if Memnarch's debating whether he wants to run this Leroy into the 5/5. That just feels so bad to me. Leroy goes
Considering getting the
muster for battle
Righteous
Quartermaster
Protector and Faceless Corruptor down, because that would activate Righteous Cause so that he could rush into the Emperor and send everything else face.
And do we drop this Quartermaster this turn? I think I do.
I think we do.
Yeah, he's not gonna do it.
He missed it.
I guess it doesn't matter, right? Because this turn you get to push the damage anyways. Yeah. So
Correct.
it still serves the same purpose. And base couldn't have known this, but it actually would have been better. No, it wouldn't have mattered. So she actually can't play Reno now, because if she does, she's still dead to Leroy. So she needs to actually Mally for freeze and then oof. And then find a way to freeze
How
his
it
face.
goes.
No, that's the problem. She needs to play Reno because if she freezes the board, that it only does that, then she's dead to the weapon.
Right.
So she knows she has to Reno and just hope there's no Leroy, which there is.
Leroy's
So
not gonna play around.
it is what it is.
Yep.
But Memnarch is going to take that series, a very close one, 3-2.
Yeah. It was a good series.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Next level plays for sure.
this is why I don't miss Leroy in standard, though. Just going to say that.
All right. Should we ask Memnarch to see if he wants to come in for an interview?
Yes.
Let me just send an invite real quick. All right. I'm just waiting on Memnarch's response real quick. Hey, congrats on the win.
Thanks. Oh, God, I was so nerve-wracking at the end. Like that Druid matchup. Oh God. Like I don't think I like. I was just thinking like throughout that game, like where could I have gotten 3 more damage from? Like, oh,
Yeah, we were watching, and I don't think we saw any way for you to get that extra 3 damage.
like I was just racking my head. Like I didn't like the only time like I could have was when when I had a 5 Trents on board, I could have hero powered. Actually, that's just 2.
That
Maybe
wouldn't have
1.
done it.
Like, yeah, I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah,
Or of
we
course,
looked all over. Just
over the
couldn't
course
see
of
it.
2 turns, I was just thinking like I didn't want to play into Plague, and I wanted to play Fungal Mancer after Plague, so I think that was right. But like, oh God, I was so nerve-wracked. That was so nerve-wracking at the end there. Like, I hated trading into Renos, but like I was just thinking like I need board space for my stuff. I need God. I'm sorry, I'm droning on a bit. You want to ask questions?
Yeah, sure. One of the things Bill and I discussed early on was when you kept muster for battle against the druid. Do you want to walk us through that?
Oh, you want okay, so druids have I noticed that list only has Plague and Starfall. So you want to go wide with Never Surrender. You want to go wide before or after? Like you can kill them pretty quickly. Like the game plan was that I was thinking like I go wide, I try to like buff them somehow, and then like when they play Plague into it, I either have a Quartermaster or some sort of follow up like Fungal Mancer. Like you have to go wide against them. There's not really a option, and they just need a limit. They have limited options to defend themselves. Like the way I win this against Druid is that I have a Seeds Plague turn or a Plague branching turn, right? Like it's
Right.
actually very difficult for a Druid to clear wide boards that is 3 power, 3 to 4 power, or 3 to 4 toughness. Like I was just thinking, like if I get a muster down with Never Surrender, and go like if I ever get a Never Surrender with any sort of wide board, he can't really deal with that. He's gonna have to Seeds and then Starfall, and that's like turn 9, turn 4, turn 5, and that's unlikely to happen, or that's I can't really play around that. Like
Yeah.
I was just thinking of like I play this matchup so often from the Druid perspective that I just like went through all the scenarios and what I lost with, and the scenarios that I lost with are him getting wide, I Seeds, he Never Surrenders or buffs board after Seeds, and then he just pummels me through a Plague. I almost pummeled him through a Plague. He got the damage, or base got the damage though at the very end. Like I was just thinking about it. Like I remember like saying like, oh, I can clear that 1/3. He's out of branchings. Then I realized like I'm just dead to UI. I'm dead to Malfurion, and I can't do anything about it. So it's like I just might as well go as big as possible.
Yeah, I guess that would be
Yeah.
what I would ask was, did you kind of realize that she was effectively locking your board with?
Oh yeah, with the Druid, like
Yeah.
I just felt like I had to. Like 5 Trent isn't gonna get there. Like I didn't
Right.
have a Faceless in hand. Like all my stuff buffed dudes. Like I figure like I think I need to make dudes here. Like and eventually I'll trade off the Trents. Or shield trade off the Trents. Like I just couldn't figure out a way that not board locking myself was right. The other option was just to pass and do nothing. And what's worse, blocking your board or doing virtually nothing. Like
Yeah, I mean, I guess I was saying, did you realize that was happening from her perspective? Like she was trying to get you to lock your board. Was that
Like-
something that you realized? And
I mean, I felt like okay, so my hand, if I remember correctly, was Warhorse Trainers, Stewardess, what else was there? Quartermaster, like
Sure.
everything. Like you kind of need like for 2 out of 3 of those, you need dudes on board. Like, and if the game progressed as soon as like, if the game kept progressing the way it was, I would eventually get whittled down. And I don't think playing a Warhorse Trainer, but like playing a Warhorse Trainer before dudes didn't feel right. Playing Stewardess before dudes didn't feel right. So I thought I just had to play dudes and just try to like trade off my trends. Like looking back, it was probably wrong, but that was my logic at the time. Like I need to set up something.
Sure.
Yeah.
I guess the last question I would have it's about your priest list. You're pretty famous in the wild universe for your burn priest.
Yeah.
Can you talk to me a little bit about what you feel burn does better than like a Dragon Raza priest? And
Dragon Priest is much better than aggro burn. If you're playing against any form of armor, you want burn though, or you want the burn list.
Sure.
Like it's not close. Like the way Dragons beats armor is that you need board and deal minion damage basically, or get a very early Raza Anduin, and then sustain the pressure. The burn list, like I've had Anduin, like you can have 100 damage turns with the burn list. Like it's absurd how much damage you can do pre or post the Raza buff.
I mean, I witnessed it firsthand, so
Yeah.
I was telling him before the match, like this is the pilot that you want to watch on this deck, because like I remember being like 45 or something, and I was just dead the next turn. Like, cool, like didn't see that coming at all. But it's an absolute pleasure to watch you pilot that deck. So
Yeah, God. I remember before the Raza nerf or buff, like you had to play the burn list. Like there's no way you're getting that damage otherwise. So like like all my math's still like off a bit. Like I'm not used to the hero power being 0 still. Like I would just look at things like I don't have lethal, and it's like gross overkill because of the 0 mana spawn. Like, like, oh man, like I've learned, like basically memorized like the 1 damage ping tables, and it's really hard to forget that sort of thing. It's like ingrained into me at this point. Like, oh man, God.
Do we have any other questions for Memnarch while he's here?
I think you guys covered everything I would have asked.
Yeah, I think that covers it. Thanks again, and congrats on the win.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Excellent series. Was a lot of fun to watch.
Man, when I saw that Reno come down, I was so sad. Like,
Wait,
like
which Reno though?
the first one. The second one was like whatever, but the first one made me very
Yeah.
very upset. Like, like I was playing around the second one, like the relicologist. I was playing around the volcanic potions, and I was like, all right, as long as he doesn't. Like, if I looked back and saw he didn't have volcanic potions and had the Reno, I would have been so mad. Like, oh, whatever. But yeah, you, the just unidentified mulliganing divine shield is a very peak. That was peak Hearthstone right there. That would not have RNG'd a different option there.
Yeah, that was an excellent pull.
For
Well
sure.
done.
It worked out. Like even in the Druid game where you lost, it still really made an impact.
God, that was so annoying. like that divine shield is cheating. Like the plus attack would have been lethal, if I remember correctly,
Right.
for that Druid game. But yeah.
I'm going to take this as a good time to end it since we're around 2 hours of stream. So
Oh
I
my.
just wanted to thank you all for this match. I don't know anything about Wild, and I feel like I learned a lot here. So thank you,
Same.
Bill. Thank you, NHL, for just giving us so much Wild insight. Thank you, Base and Memnarch, for quite the insane match. And thank Base and JR for joining me as usual and being great hosts here at Schoolstone.
Yeah, thanks for hosting.
Our pleasure.
With that said, I believe this is a great time to remind you all that there is another stream tonight. I believe it is starting at. Second, I'm checking that for us. It's starting at 9 p.m. Eastern, so in 4 hours. And there are going to be some exciting matches. And yeah, good luck for the last Wild games as the Wild series ends this week. And we'll see what happens for prelim rounds or for playoff rounds next. See you all next week. Schoolstone will be back next weekend. If you want to play on stream, please message me. Otherwise, have a nice Sunday, everyone.
Take care, everybody.
All right, see you guys.
Later.